So I'm just going to go over guides and rulers and grids in Illustrator and Photoshop. They're both similar and use similar shortcuts, so do this both together. So here I'm in Illustrator, I've got a blank A4 document. I want to switch my rulers on first, so I could press Command and R, or I could go up to rulers and show rulers. And so this gives me a ruler at the top and left of my page. As I zoom in, you can see how this is changing in its increments here, and this top left hand corner is 0. You can see that here, 0 and 0. So what I might want to do then is add some layout guides so that I can work out perhaps where I want to start positioning things. Just get back to there. So two ways that we could go about this. We start off by adding a grid. So that's down here, show grid. And so this has turned our page into a piece of graph paper. And you can see here, snap to point or snap to grid. So it might be better, as we can see this grid here. Points, I think, are more like pixels. But if we snap it to grid, then things are going to snap to the grid that's in here. So if we start making a shape, you can see how it's jumping to these separate squares. And let's just colour it in. So as we move that around, it's going to stick to things. So that might be a useful way just to position stuff in the first place. Let's get rid of that. So if we want to add some guides to things so that we could divide our page up into some bigger sections, obviously this is just all lots of squares. We can click and drag out from the top ruler and the left hand ruler some guides. So you can see here I can drag these out, and so these are snapping also to the grid points here, and that's fine. Put that in the wrong place so I can move that. So you can see that you can divide your page up into sections or your image or whatever, and there we go, and you can edit them just by clicking on them and moving them around. If you click on the right part, there we go. You can lock these if you press Control, click there, you can lock guides. So now I shouldn't be able to click on these guides to move them, so they're stuck there. And if I just go and turn off the grid, there we go, so you can see where I've put my guides. So things will stick to these if we make stuff still. So let's just colour that. Oops. So you can see that things are snapping to these particular things here. Yeah, these guides. So up here we've got snap to grid still switched on, even though we've hidden that that grid. So if we were in Photoshop, we can do the same kind of thing. So Command and N, let's make a new A4 document here. So we've got our rulers. We can see those up at the top, and you've got your 0 points again there. And we can switch the grid on just the same. Where's that? Show grid. And it's the same keyboard shortcut. And we've also got snapping switched on here. And this is set to snap to everything. Guides, grid, layers, slices, document bounds, all sorts of things. And so in the same way we can make some guides on here as well, but you can only do those with the move tool, and you can only edit those with the move tool in Photoshop. So same again, you go and click up inside the ruler and you can drag things out onto your page like that, so you can add some guides. And you can see how your move tool changes as you put it over the top of these guides. So it's ready, telling you that you want to move these, do you? Asking you a little question. And if you were to create something in here, so let's say we want to do some text. So I'm just going to click and we'll have some text. Oh, too many O's. So now if we move this around, you can see in Photoshop you're getting snapping, it's jumping and sticking onto the guides that we've made, as you can see, but also it's looking at what's in the middle of the page, so this new purple line appears, and this is a really nice alignment bit of help that will enable you to get things lined up. So if we have some more text, then start moving that around. So I've lined this one up in the middle like that, and if I do this, so you can see how it's trying to line it up. It's thinking, where do they want to line it up? Beginning or the end of the sentence, or in the middle, like that. So if we just get rid of that, same again. Yeah, so it's helping and it's snapping to all of these things that it's trying to help us with. If I've switched on my grid as well, it's going to start snapping to bits of that too.